Here now with more. The co-host of The Five, Judge Jeanine Pirro, Fox News contributor Joe Concha. You know, why do I get this sinking feeling? You never hear Judge Chuck Schumer criticize any Democratic candidates. Why is Mitch? Well, it depends on the quality of candidate. How about he can get off his ass, get out of Kentucky, and go on the campaign trail and fight for every candidate and help them win?
You know, Sean, I couldn't agree with you more. You have to wonder why he's taking a swipe, and this is what he's doing, at Trump-backed candidates. You have to wonder, why is he rolling over? Why is he basically giving up? You know, when he should be the one who should be out there and making sure that Republicans are out there voting. You know, the party that controls the narrative is the party that controls the vote. Right now, Mitch McConnell should be controlling the narrative with what's going on in this country that you so aptly described in your open with this Inflation Reduction Act, which has nothing to do with inflation reduction. And the fact that what we've got now is a leftist, socialist, progressive president who is not only raising taxes and hiring 87,000 new IRS agents to sick it on all the rest of us, but what we've got is we've got taxes going up, we've got inflation, we've got all of the problems that we're dealing with right now, and we've got people saying, you know what, the fact that Hunter Biden's laptop story was suppressed, it was a good thing. We can suppress your First Amendment rights because we don't want Donald Trump to be elected. These people are more than socialists, they're communists. This is like a third world country. And Mitch McConnell ought to understand right now that if he doesn't get up and fight for Republicans, then he should just get out of the way.
You know, Joe Concha, you cover the media better than anybody. By the way, I'm sure you miss Humpty Dumpty. I'm sure that's devastating news for you. Because I think you're the best media reporter in the country.
We haven't seen the last of... Thank you. I don't think we've seen the last of the person you just mentioned.
Now? Is that where he's headed? Or Media Matters? One or the other. It's not. It won't be any network that I can see. But let's get to the...
It's an M. MSNBC or Media Matters. One of those two, Sean.
Anyway, one and the same, right? They echo. Yeah. It's an echo chamber. All right. So let me ask about the media's being complicit in all of this. They're the ones that were perfectly fine with Hillary's dirty Russian dossier. They passed it off as being real. It was not real. They went out in unison, in one voice, echoing the Democratic Party and saying Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation without even looking into the issue. And so you have to wonder in every election year, you know, what will their messaging be this time, because it will be in sync with the Democratic Party. That we can expect, no?
We're already seeing that, right, Sean? The Inflation Reduction Act magically went away as the actual name of the bill, and it's called the Democrats' Tax and Health and Climate Change Bill. Suddenly, inflation reduction went away because this thing doesn't reduce inflation. And then, you know, you just see the cheering going on, right? They embrace White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain when he compares Joe Biden to JFK and Eisenhower, as you mentioned before. One difference, those presidents were exceptionally popular and seen as competent and coherent. And Eisenhower, his average approval rating was 65% while in office. Jack Kennedy, 70% while in office. Joe Biden, Reuters poll just out, this is post-Inflation Reduction Act. He's at 38% approval, 57% disapproval. So we keep hearing all this cheering from the president and his allies in the media, and there are many that Joe Biden has Joe-mentum. Well, just because you passed this massive spending bill along party lines and lied to the American public, saying it's going to reduce inflation, that doesn't mean it's a win. And Republican candidates, starting with Mitch McConnell at the top in terms of running the Senate, and then saying to the candidates that are all running in places like Arizona and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, this is your opportunity to use this in a campaign ad, run against this thing, and show the bold contrast that you're going to do if you get in office in terms of reducing inflation or violent crime or getting back to energy independence. But you don't hear Democrats talk about that much, or about securing the U.S. southern border, for that matter, and fentanyl killing young Americans, because if they run on issues, they lose. So it all goes back to focusing on Donald Trump.
Judge, it's not complicated. If Republicans run on keeping every town and every city safe and secure and hiring police and eliminating no bail and refunding the police, if they run on parental rights and education and get rid of woke education, CRT and, of course, the gender identity to first grade teaching that's been going on, and they stick to reading, writing, math, science, history, and computers, I think they'll win on those issues. If they run on securing the borders, that's a winning issue. If they run on energy independence, that is a winning issue. It doesn't seem that complicated to me. If they really push these issues hard, they will win.
Well, they don't even have to push the issues. All they have to do, Sean, is put it in front of the American people. Can you afford food? Can you afford gas? Are you able to buy an electric car? Do you feel safe in your town? Do you have a job? Has your business suffered? Have you lost your business as a result of being locked down from COVID? You know, all of these questions. Let's talk about fentanyl. Let's talk about the border crisis. You don't even have to say anything other than the reality of what's going on under the Democrats. And shame on Mitch McConnell. If he's ready to roll over right now, he ought to move out of the way, because we've got the narrative. We should control the vote.
Well said. Judge, thank you. Joe, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.